Right, hey everyone, this is Miss Time Bunny, and this is probably going to be a bit of a serious impromptu video because it is the time of recording, it's the 18th of June 2020, and it has essentially all kicked off on Twitter today. And basically, look like sort of, if you want to find out a lot more details, go and look under the hashtag speaking out. But essentially, basically, I think there are a lot of people who have basically had enough of predators and rapists and abusers in the wrestling community, not just here in the UK, but basically everywhere. And yeah, it's just, I think there's been a lot of people, mainly women, but I think there has been a few guys too that have come forward and said that they've been either assaulted, raped, they've been sort of, or just generally been made to feel really uncomfortable by wrestlers and other such like trainers and other people involved. And yeah, it's one of those. So I'm basically obviously recording this quite late at night, and pretty much while the subject's still hot, as it were, and it's just, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one to talk about, if that makes sense, because it's I think for years there's been those of us that have been trying to say that there are shit people that work in the wrestling community. Doesn't matter if they're an actual wrestler themselves, or a trainer, or if they're a YouTube content creator that's quite famous for doing wrestling content. It's just, and we've basically always been shouted down as liars, trying to cause shit for these quote unquote famous people. I mean, okay, that's not to say that there aren't liars out there, because I know, for example, Enzo Amore got falsely accused a little while ago, for example. But I'm just saying, on balance, it's probably about 99% of people who say they've been assaulted, raped, etc. are not lying. You're going to get that very rare twat that is lying for attention. It's going to happen, unfortunately, but yeah, I'm sorry I'm rambling. It's just I don't know, my brain's just say the things, but it's just trying to get the things out. But yeah, I'd say probably for those of you that want to go and find out more context and you have Twitter, as I said, look up the hashtag speaking out, and there's also, diddly-do, if I can find the name of the account in question. If I can bear with. This is what happens when I decide to do a video completely unprepared. Serves me right, doesn't it? Diddly-do. They're called... the account in question is called Expose Wrestling. So it's at Expose Wrestling. If I remember, I will link them in description so you can go and look them up. But they've been pretty good at kind of trying to keep tabs on what's been going on today and hopefully going forward. So basically, yeah, as I said, look up the hashtag. Look up this particular account. I will try and put links, hashtags, info down there. So basically, yeah, it's just all kicked off today with a lot of people sort of speaking out, sort of against a lot of predators basically in the wrestling community. Just I think it mainly started off with obviously just the sort of UK wrestling community, and it's just all started to kick off now. And it just sort of, to be honest, it reminded me of a situation that happened to me many moons ago, back in my late teens. It may have been late teens, early 20s. I don't really remember now, to be fair, because bear in mind I'm 39 now, so it happened some time ago. But I had an experience myself with a sort of a wrestler, because at the time I was planning to train to become a wrestler, believe it or not. Oh, excuse me. And basically, even though this guy never at any point sort of like put his hands on me or assaulted me or anything like that, it was more just he just would send me really just creepy sexual text messages and stuff like that. And despite the fact that like numerous occasions I knocked him back and said, "Mate, don't, I'm not into that shit," he would keep doing it. And then I think one day I just proper put my foot down and said, like, "Mate, pack it in, I've had enough." And then he just got really arsey with me after that and was just like, sort of just started calling me names. And it was like, really? It's just like, just because like I wouldn't have sex with you, you're now going to start calling me names, and then try to say that like all the messages were like a joke and he didn't mean it. And it was just like, no, you just don't like the fact that you were not back, mate, just shh. That's what it's really all about. But unfortunately, I can't name and shame because it was like where it happened so long ago, I don't really remember what his name was now, and I don't want to just throw a random name out and go, "Oh, I think his name was this," and then like the wrong person ends up sort of like getting targeted, if that makes sense, So, so that's why it's like I'm not going to mention names. Not because I'm being all, "Oh, I must protect him." It's more of a, I just don't clearly remember what his name was now, or sort of like stuff like that. So it's more of a, I don't want to say something and then like, as I said, the wrong person ends up sort of like being sort of like bundled on social media if there happens to be someone under that name, if that makes sense. So it's like, yeah, it's just all kicking off. So yeah, I think it's just a case of we need to sort shit out in the wrestling community, because it was like, my experience just put me off wanting to train as a wrestler, and I just, like, obviously I massively regret it now, because I really would have loved to have been a wrestler, because it was like my big dream at the time, and it was like, finally had an opportunity to do something about it, and then I had a really shitty experience, didn't feel safe, and it was like, now it's like, here I am nearly 40, and it's like, it's probably an ambition that's never going to happen now, so it's just like, thanks for that, But yeah, I think it's just really important that we do need to sort the wrestling community out, because basically it doesn't matter if you're male, female, or whatever else you may identify as, we're like non-binary, whichever, It doesn't matter if you're like a wrestler, a trainer, a fan, or another member of whatever staff, or doesn't matter what company you work with either. It's just, I think we all do need to work together to get these shitty people just out of wrestling, because it's like, there is no place for rapists and pedos and just generally shitty people. No, I don't care what all the apologists out there are going to say, because I know there's going to be a few out there, because I encountered quite a few when the whole Adam Blompier shit kicked off, and quite personally even now I want to sort of like deck that cunt with a brick to the face, but that's just me, it's like, it's not a spite thing or anything now, it's just more, I just want to do it because it would make me feel better, if that makes sense, It's not like an anger or hatred thing or spite or anything like that. It's just more of a, there's still that part of me that would think, if I got to just deck him, it would just make me feel better, So hopefully that'll make sense, because it's my brain's trying to think of the words, but it's just more like, yeah. So I encountered quite a lot of people who were all like, "Oh, but the victims deserved it because they were the ones stupid enough to send him pictures." It's like, no, he was a cunt. It's plain and simple. This just isn't up for a debate. And it's the same for these wrestlers that are being outed. It's like, as far as I'm concerned, at the moment, I do believe the victims, because I'm of the attitude of, a good majority of people are not going to lie about this shit, because it's like, it's not, I mean, I know there's like twatty people that do lie, but my attitude is I would generally rather believe the victim than just basically, if that makes sense, it's like even though I obviously try to find out information, I generally tend to lean more towards the victim side, especially if there's a lot of other people coming out backing it up with the same sorts of stories, saying like, "Oh yeah, the sort of same happened to me, with XYZ people, whatever, you know, if it's like more than one person coming out about it, then yes, I'm more likely to say, well, to be fair, because like, to be fair, chances are, because there's this many people coming out saying this person's like shitty, then I'm more likely to believe them, if that makes sense, you know. So, well, believe them even more, I should say, you know. So I think that's just how I've always been, you know. I've generally been of the attitude of, you know, about, you know, as I said in any video, about 99% of victims are not going to be lying. There's going to be that odd 1 or 2% of dicky people that will lie because they want to try and ruin someone's life on purpose, but most victims are not liars. So it's like, I think due to sort of like the odds of, I think sort of because of the sort of like odds in play, generally speaking, I would like rather take the chance of sticking up for the victim and saying like, you know, I'm on your side, you know, if that makes sense. Sorry, if you're wondering what that thing is, it's like, it's my dog. She's decided she wants to be involved, because she does it every time when I'm recording. She suddenly decides that she wants to be involved, don't you, princess? Yeah, alright, if you want to be on camera. Oh, this is when I'm not going to be able to turn it round. There we go, excuse my messy room. There you go, cheer everyone up. Puppy! There you are, princess, you get to be on camera. Oh, this is when I'm not going to be able to stand my camera back up now, is it? It's all going to fall down and you're all going to laugh at me. There we go. There, just cheer everyone up. It's just like, it's pooch. But yeah, on that rambly note, I'm going to end here, because I've just sat here for the past 12 minutes, probably just rambling utter shit. But I just wanted to do a thing, just to get up probably on, well, both of my channels. I expect I'll put this on my wrestling one and also my main one. And, well, anywhere else I can get it up, get it up, that sounds a bit dodgy, well, anywhere else I can post it, to sort of start getting the word out, and I'll link details where I can on wherever it gets posted. Big shit vegetable box. But yeah, so as I said, by all means go onto Twitter if you want to do your own research and look up like the hashtag speaking out or at expose wrestling. Like, they're probably good places to start. And on that note, I'm going to end there. Take care everyone, much love. And just know that Miss Time Bunny believes you. Okay, doesn't matter, as I said, doesn't matter if you identify as male, female, something else, you know, I believe you.